Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Ben from Valentium. How you doing today, Ben?
Good, Ernesto. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on. We're, talking a little bit about Valentium. And that's what I think our listeners are here for. So let's give them why they're tuning in. In your own words, Ben, can you tell us a little bit more about what Valentium is?
Yeah, so Valentium is a contract design and manufacturing organization in the medical device industry. We focus predominantly on 4 different areas: neuromodulation, deep brain stimulation, cardiac, and diabetes. Our company's vision is to change lives for a better world, and that we can do that specifically through medical device, providing life-saving therapies for people. We've created a device that have helped people who have partially severed spinal cord. We've helped them walk again. We've helped people who have been trapped in their body communicate with their loved ones through brain interfaces. And so, people that need 100% dependent pacemakers, because without it, their heart wouldn't pump and they wouldn't be able to live. So anything that is, the more advanced the device is, that's where we can help people change their lives and give them their life back. So.
That's amazing, right? I think that's like a second opportunity towards life. So that's great to hear from you guys. And so our listeners could get a good understanding of Valentium. What would you say? I mean, we talked about a few different products and complications, but is there a key problems that you solve for in this case, patients?
So we don't have a specific area, whether it's, like I said, neuromodulation is a really wide array, right? So we can do spinal cord stimulators, we can do deep brain stimulators, we can do brain interfaces, right? We can do cardiac sensing to be, for temporary implantables, right? So we can do things, we can do vagus nerve stimulators, wearables on the side. One of the devices we've done has helped people. We've reduced the withdrawal symptoms of opioids by up to 99% for both adults as well as babies born addicted to opiates due to mother's addiction, right? And so being able to remove those withdrawal symptoms allows them to actually be able to kick their addiction, the babies especially early on, because they're born into this world just screaming in pain, right? And nobody deserves that, right? So really we just focus on breakthrough therapies. Anything, the more complex therapies are usually the most significant in terms of change, but there's also a lot of simple therapies that, I always like to say, being healthy is a crown only the sick can see. And so there's a lot of things that, people just go through their day-to-day life, whether it be, epileptic seizures or migraines or things like that, that being able to reduce or eliminate those things just allows them to function as a healthy person would, which is life-changing in its own right. So it's not necessarily that it has to be complex, but small changes can have massive positive influences on people that are struggling with certain indications.
Great. That's awesome to hear. So then who would your clients be then, or patients? Is it more of a B2B or direct to consumer? What is it there for you guys?
Yeah, we work we are a B2B company. If you had to classify it in more professional services. So we work with startups as small as one person with a CEO that have enough funding to work with us to develop prototypes, take them all the way through the medical device, design and development process to get them through an FDA submission, or whether they're submitting in the EU or Australia or Asia Pacific regions. We can help them with that. And then we also have, state-of-the-art 50,000 square foot manufacturing facility where we can actually commercially manufacture their devices as well. When they become, when they start selling their device in the market. So But we work with startups all the way from one person up to, Fortune 50 companies and everything in between. The engagement's going to look a little bit different, but the mission is the same, right? Take a device through the R&D stages and then get it to manufacturing so that it can get out and start helping patients as soon as possible.
Okay, great. And well, let's switch it up a little bit and talk about some marketing efforts and how do people usually get in contact with you? What would you say is a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
So for the medical device industry, we all kind of joke around that the business card changed, but the names stay the same. One thing that's beautiful about this industry is that there's a million different ways for people to make money in this world, and people in the medical device industry chose the medical device industry for a very specific reason, and that's why our company's mission is changing lives for a better world. And I would assume that most medical device companies, whether they're suppliers or people, professional service providers like us or OEMs, their mission is somewhat similar to that, right? And so reputation and word of mouth are huge in our industry. And so a lot of our leads are generated from inbound, whether it be for reputation, word of mouth. We put out a lot of content for our technical SMEs that have been in the industry. Our average tenure in the industry for our technical experts are about 25 years or more. So really, it's a lot of inbound through content, through word of mouth and reputation.
Okay, great to hear that. And well, I am here on the website, valentium.com. To our listeners, you can check them out there. What role does the website play for as far as your client acquisition?
Yeah, so the website, we're actually going through a website redesign right now. So probably by the time this launches, it'll look a little bit different from when we're talking today. But really, our website, I think it's a clarification of services. We do a lot of different things, and we can build a lot of things to a lot of different people. So it gives people a chance to just kind of fully understand who Valentium is as a company, what we can do for people, what our mission is, what drives us, which is kind of a competitive advantage for us when compared to other companies in our industry that do what we do. I think what makes us different, right? And I think our strength is, consistent messaging. And one of the reasons why we're going through a website redesign right now is that we do so much and we can help so many different companies in so many different ways that one of our weaknesses that we're trying to fix is conciseness or simplicity. We kind of have a marketing statement and just in general, engineering statement as well in our designs, but simple is hard, but simple is worth it. And so we're working really hard right now to be able to shrink down our website so it's just as effective, but we're highlighting a very simple but consistent message, so that way there's no confusion for how we provide value to our clients.
Okay, great. Now, well, let's switch gears a little bit, Ben, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the senior leadership team member there for Valentium. What are some key tasks you focus on your day-to-day work?
Yeah, so when I was able to hire a bunch of people on both the sales and marketing side, my key tasks went from day-to-day things from selling, as I'm overseeing sales and marketing, from selling and executing on marketing campaigns to really evaluating what our current strategy is, our brand strategy, talking and getting feedback with my teams to see how some of those campaigns are working, creating new campaigns, doing A/B testing to make sure that, like, hey, this small piece is working and this one's not. How can we modify it so we can actually get a more, just get better looking KPIs from a simplistic perspective, get better results. There's a lot of budget allocation, tracking of budget management, increasing funding. You always want to fund your winners. We kind of think about how, if you're going to, we load up you load up the gun with bullets and you see what actually works. So you fire a bunch of those because they're cheap and small and you figure out what's actually going to work. And then once not everything has to work, but if one thing out of 10 works, then you put a bunch of money behind the thing, the 1 in 10 that gave you the best results. And then you load it up like a cannon, right? And you really fund your winners that way. And so, and then also from a people management perspective, I spend a lot of time removing roadblocks for my team, whether that be operationally, process wise, creating templates, figuring out how to leverage AI more so they can spend more time doing only what they do. So really, it's I would say that's probably the most significant part. Just making sure I'm unlocking the people that on my team, so they're only spending time doing only what they can do.
Okay, awesome. Great to hear. And well, let's jump into our next section, which is our rapid fire question round. So, you ready for them, Ben?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. First off, what is the last book that you read?
It's sitting on my bookshelf right now. It's called Kind Folks Finish First. Is the CEO, blanking on the name right now. I believe it's Sam Jacobs. He's the CEO of Pavilion, which is a great learning group that I'm subscribed to. It's predominantly for SaaS companies, but I've gotten a lot of value out of it and a lot of great professional development out of that as well. But it's really the mantra of you don't have to be cutthroat to succeed in business.
Definitely. Okay, great stuff there. Now, next, what is one single thing that Valentium is focused on at the moment the most?
I think one of the things that I'm trying to figure out is really trying to, Ernesto, sorry, we can edit this out. Was this a question on the list? I don't have a good answer for this one. I apologize.
No, yeah, I will throw in one just kind of see what it is.
You get me. Yeah, repeat the question really quick, and then I'm going to take a pause and think about it for about 30 seconds, and then I'll answer.
Okay. So the question is, what is one single thing that your company is focused on at the moment the most?
So the main thing we're focused on right now is we just built a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, 50,000 square feet. It's an extremely expensive, extremely risky process. There's only a handful of companies that have one of those. And so one of the big things we're focusing on is how to get the word out on that. How can we get it up and running as fast as possible? How can I market this to people to let people know that there is an alternative solution for manufacturing needs in the industry?
Definitely. That's some great stuff there. And well, Ben, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
This is completely pie in the sky, but if there was a way to understand the true intent of a visitor to the website or a lead, do they just want info? Are they actually looking for our services? What do they actually want from us? Right. And I think that would simplify things a lot, because I know people come to our website and they download a white paper. And I think the sales and marketing person in me goes, oh, okay, well, now I'm going to try to convert them as a lead. But sometimes it's just a person working at a university that we said something that was interesting that could help them. And they wanted to download the white paper to learn more. And they really have no use for our services. And that's okay. Right. I love talking to those people. I love hearing about the content that they want to see. And I think just understanding true intent of a potential customer or just a visitor to the website would be monumental, because then we could focus our efforts based on that intent.
Definitely. Yep. I would agree. Now, if there was one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
So I hope this doesn't expose me, because if there's a way to do it, I'd love to hear it. But we use HubSpot for our sales CRM and our marketing hub. And, we obviously set up all of our LinkedIn posts and all our social media posts. And the thing that drives me nuts is that I have to log in to our corporate LinkedIn account, and I have to tag individual people to notify them of those posts when they go out. So whether it's our podcast content, whether it's tagging a show that we're going to be attending, I can't tag people in a specific social media account through the HubSpot interface. And it's just one of those things that takes me 10 seconds, but it's just something I have to do every day. And if I could if I could figure out a way to not do that manually, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, great stuff there. And well, lastly, you have a lot of experience already in the marketing world, but what is one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
I would say focusing more on content and developing an ecosystem for your company, your customers, people that are influenced by your content to, become a beacon of information and content that will just inherently put your logo in front of people. It's not all about just shoving your services down people's throat, right? It's being able to provide value outside of those services, whether it be through technical white papers or general content in the industry, or doing podcasts like this, Ernesto, right? Just being out in front of people, spreading your message, spreading your mission, and almost generating goodwill with an audience. But then it also gives you value that if you're providing a lot of content to a lot of different people, there's connections that people can make outside of anything that you're doing. And so if you can create a fostering ecosystem that way, you're going to be able to help people find solutions, and they are going to, in the back of their mind, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, credit you for that value. And then you are going to stick in their mind a lot longer than if you're just constantly giving them a sale. giving them a sales pitch.
Definitely great advice there, Ben. Well, Ben, thanks a lot for being on the show with us today. I do want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about Valentium?
If you have a complex medical device that you want to bring to market and it's bordering on science fiction and you're trying to push the boundaries of technology, give Valentium a call.
There you guys heard it. You could visit them at valentium.com. Ben, thanks a lot for being on. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in and looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Ben.
Thank you, Ernesto.